And coming to one of my favorites, when it comes to influence and persuasion. So, influence and persuasion. The well-renowned psychologist and author of the book, Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion by Dr. Robert Cialdini, highlights these six key principles of influence. So he has these six key principles of influence, and we need to consider these when thinking about the customer. So, what Dr. Cialdini has said, he says that there are six things, or these six things will influence or persuade someone to make that purchase. So let's go through them. The first one is reciprocity. Basically, reciprocity is returning a favor, for the want of a better word. So someone does something for you, you do something for them. A bit like if someone buys you a coffee and you weren't expecting it, and you'll always think, oh, next time I see him, I'm going to buy him a coffee, I'm going to return the favor. And we have this thing inside us that we're compelled to help that person out just because they did something for us. It could be buying a coffee, it could be the neighbor moving your bin, or whatever it is. But there is something that, well, which we call reciprocity, and you feel compelled to do it. So, for example, I mean, you can see the ideas of free webinars. I think we've all probably attended a free webinar in our time, and the idea of free webinars that they're giving you something for free, in the hope that you'll return the favor at some point by maybe making a purchase, or maybe even giving them some soft support in some way. Next one is commitment and consistency. This is about following through on commitment. We see this every day. Like if you've ever had a meeting invite for a Microsoft Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting, it comes up on your calendar and you click yes or no, or depending what you can do. The reason they ask you this, but obviously it'll just help you in your diary. But the process of committing to something makes you bought into it. A bit like if there's a meeting at the local school, or there's a meeting at the local charity that you volunteer for, or whatever it might be. Once you've kind of committed to something, you feel, I suppose, you feel this need to follow through on it. Third, social proof. This is basically people following other people. Simple example is the Amazon star rating. Whenever you order something on Amazon, what am I looking at? I'm looking at star rating, price, and when it can get here, and three places. But if something's like less than 4.5 out of 10, I mean 4.5 out of 5, I'm always skeptical. As long as it's around over 4.5, then I'll buy it. Even though I know nothing about the product, I've not read the description, the star rating is enough for me to go off. So if the star rating is not good enough, that puts me off. So once again, I'm looking for social proof. Authority. Authority is basically the respect of authoritative figures. A bit like why famous people usually are used for ads and endorsements. So yes, of course they're famous people, but they act like an authority. So, for example, if someone like Cristiano Ronaldo said to you, "This football boot is great," or "These health supplements are really good and it helps you keep your health and fit," then you're going to believe that. But you don't think, well, he's a footballer, he's playing, and he's so old, he's still playing at a very high level, he's still performing, he looks good. Well, he must be right because we've given authority. So we want people with authority to confirm what we want. And then once we have this authority, that is part of the influence and persuasion. Liking is basically people that we are influenced by, that we like. So if you like a certain person, and they endorse a product, then it's going to make you like it. Similar to authority, where the authority is basically more about the respect. The liking is more like, oh well, I like that person and they like this, so I do as well. And finally, one thing that we see a lot, probably across the world, is scarcity. How many times have you bought something that's a limited offer, or just six products remaining, or something like that? So one of the big, and for example, concert dates, maybe a superstar or a pop star suddenly has 3 dates available in Manchester. 3 dates are all sold out, and all of a sudden, two more dates are released. How did that happen? All of a sudden there were 3 nights, and now suddenly there's five. So what they wanted to do was they wanted to create scarcity. So by creating scarcity, they put a limited amount out, so people are compelled to buy it, or want to buy it so they don't miss out. And once that they have bought those, then more is released in the future. Of course, I'm sure there'll be genuine reasons sometimes where things like that happen, but in general, scarcity works like that. It also works in supermarkets. I think here in the UK, we've got to a stage where sometimes a supermarket will say, this new game is released at 12 o'clock midnight. And you'll have people queuing up outside the store at midnight for the latest PlayStation 5 or the latest edition of FIFA or whatever it might be, because they want to create this scarcity. They might, so because people are thinking, oh God, they're releasing at midnight. Well, I better get down there because there might not be any left by the morning time and I want to buy it. So this is all basically pricing psychology. And what we've just gone through there and through the different elements is different ways that we can basically help the customer buy our product. Obviously, we're going to do it for our purposes, but making the decision easy for the customer, and obviously where we can use influence, persuasion, pricing psychology. Yes, absolutely. I mean, we see it every day in the stores. There's nothing unethical about it here in the UK. Nothing is priced at exactly £2. I don't think I've ever seen it. Nothing is priced at 2.00. It's usually priced at £1.97, £1.99, or something like that. It's never priced at £2 because people understand what the customer responds to. So next we're going to look at the decision-making process.